to follow these people up here speaking, but I do love being here, love enjoying seeing all the people over the years and the connection of wrestling with everybody. And just, I have one story about a connection I just found out today. I get to introduce Joe Corso. I'll tell you a little bit about him and let him take over. But one of his coaches growing up was Mike Bach, who came today. Well, Mike Bach started the wrestling program. I'm sorry, Larry Bach. Mike is his brother. Larry Bach started the program at Columbus High School, where I went, in 1965, and then he moved on. But Larry's younger brother, Mike, was my high school coach. So Mike coached me, Larry coached Joe, and now I'm introducing Joe. So it's funny the little things that happen with wrestling that go around and around. But I don't think Joe's going to talk much about his wrestling. He told me he's going to talk more about, his coaches and the influences. But I'll just give you a brief description of some of the things that Joe accomplished. He was an Iowa High School state champion from Des Moines, West Des Moines Valley. He was a 10-time national freestyle champion. I think Joe kind of blossomed a little bit more after high school. He went to Purdue, where he was a Big Ten champion and the outstanding wrestler in the Big Ten tournament. He was All-American for Purdue. He was fortunate to be on the United States Olympic team in 1976. That's a huge accomplishment. I haven't been alternate on that team, so that's kind of when I got to start to know Joe. And Joe ended up wrestling with me in the Hawkeye Wrestling Club. And we were actually teammates in 1979 on the United States World Team, in which Joe got a bronze medal in the World Championships in 1979. So some great accomplishments. I have a real good friend of mine. They went to Iowa. He was 3 years younger and went to the same high school as me. His name's Ron Pint, and he's also a friend of Joe's. And I happened to see Ron at the National Wrestling Tournament and told him I was going to introduce Joe. He said, I got lots of stories. So I'm just going to share one. Joe and Ron and one of our heavyweights in the Hawkeye Wrestling Club by the name of Jim Whitslip all went to, I think it was the National AUs, I'm not sure what year this was, and they found out the 3 of them were in a room together. And Jim Whitslip was a heavyweight. He probably weighed 275. He was a big guy. And Ron and Joe were obviously smaller. So they check into the room, there's 2 beds, and there's 3 guys. So Ron said, Woody, who was Jim Whistle's name, he jumped on one bed and said, good luck, you 2. With that, I'll take you to Joe Corso. Congratulations.
Yeah. Wow. First of all, I'd like to thank the organizing committee that put this together and all the inductees. You guys, this is a who's who of wrestling right here. I'm impressed and I'm honored to be inducted. You did a fantastic job. But what really made me more so than anything was my teammates. And let me go back to high school. I remember working out with Dave Leon. Dave, he's right there. He was influential. You gotta have good workout partners. You don't have good workout partners, hey, it ain't gonna happen. So when you're going head to head every day and you're working hard and you're trying to get better, Dave was the kind of guy that stuck in there. If you look at us and you look at us in a uniform, you go, how'd that guy win? How'd that guy win? He doesn't look like much. But we were scrappy. And I think I taught a lot of that to Dave, to just hang in there and wrestle and keep at it, and he did. And he became a state champion the next year in '72. I was in '71, he was in '72, and so I commended because he wasn't even really ranked up there. He was a long shot, if anything, and he pulled it off, and he had a good tournament, and that's what you have to have. And he pulled it off, and I commend you, Dave, for doing that. That's unbelievable. And my next partner, this guy, Herbie Underwood. Herbie, he was we always got in trouble together. And it was fun time. We had a good time. But we had a good camaraderie between us, and one thing, I have to tell you, I lived on top of a pizza place. Okay, now, I'm trying to cut weight all the time, and everybody goes, how do you make weight? Every time I had a reporter come over to see me said, how do you make weight? I go, I don't know. I was a good runner, and I did a lot of running, I know that. But, you know, they always brought the pizza thing in, and I go, nah, don't do that, okay? But anyway, Herbie was my sidekick, and we had some good times, and he was, well, you were like 3rd or 4th in state that year, and he, you know, we had a tough team. Valley had a very tough team at that particular time, and so we had a really tight group of guys, and I had learned a lot from the next guy I'm going to mention is Coach Larry Bach, and Coach Bach kind of got me started. He hooked, line, and sunk me into wrestling like a fish. He threw that rail out and boom! All of a sudden, I was hooked for wrestling, and I couldn't believe it because I was a gymnast when I was in 7th grade. I was really good. I was doing all these flips on the ground. Everybody goes, "Where I gotta go? What are you doing?" And all of a sudden, Bach gets me going out. I don't know, he must have talked to my parents. And my parents said, "Hey, you should go out for the wrestling program at junior high, 7th and 8th grade." All right, I'll try it. So I went out for the junior high program. Lo and behold, they had like a month of training so we could learn some moves. We didn't go out there and just flare all around, you know. We learned a few moves, and then all of a sudden, I won the 7th grade championship. The next year, I won the 8th grade championship. I'm going, hey, something's going on. And Bach, he's sitting there, yeah, here's my freshman varsity 95-pounder coming in. That's what he was thinking, and sure enough, I made the varsity team as a freshman. And you know, I really enjoyed that time of life because all of a sudden, I didn't have anything really going for me until I got into wrestling. And so Coach Bach, as he got me into it, and I, started learning his ways of teaching, he started throwing words at us. And these words were things like discipline. If you don't have discipline, you ain't going to be successful. You can't have success if you don't have discipline. And you can't be a winner if you don't have heart. Got to have the heart to win the big matches. And that stuck with me. And I use that not only through my college or my high school, but my college and international style of wrestling. It really stuck with me, and I thought it really helped me a lot. And so when Coach Bach, I took second my junior year, and Coach Bach was there and supported me, and then all of a sudden Coach Bach decides to retire, and I'm going, wait, whoa, don't do that, not yet. And he goes, I got one more year. And he goes, we got Coach Underfer. Coach Underfer's a good guy. Just give him some slack. He'll work with you, and he'll help you out. And I go, okay, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to listen to Coach Bach. I did. Coach Underfer was very easy to work with. I worked even harder because I took second in state. I got to come home and bring home a title next year. I was a little upset. So I worked hard and put it together, and Coach Underfer helped me tremendously. And I remember the state final, and I wasn't even ranked, well, I was ranked, but I wasn't supposed to win. And I had in the semifinals a guy named John Bagenstos from West Waterloo. Well, he's that high. And I'm that high, this high, and he's this high. Now, all the guys I wrestled were short and stocky, and it's just the way it was. But John, we went at it, and it was a good match. It was a 3-2 match, and I won. Okay, and I'm excited. I'm in the finals again. Took second the year before. Okay, so I'm in the finals again, and I got this time Tom Leppard, and Tom's from Iowa City, Iowa. Another guy this high. all the guys I wrestled were short. I'm a foot taller than them. That's okay. And so I had Tom Lepic, and I beat Tom 5-1. And so by this time, yeah, you know, I win my state title. I'm happy. Now I got to pick a college, and I end up going to junior college, North Iowa Area Community, Nyack. And Nyack was a very tough college, very tough competitive JUCO wrestling team. And we competed at Cedar Falls, and we competed with a lot of even Division I teams as far as tournaments and things like that. And Kay Young did a fantastic job. It was a learning experience for me, an excellent program. He was well respected amongst his peers and wrestlers. He was very equal with everybody. I mean, he just was a fun guy to work with. I thought he was a visionary of the sport of wrestling. I learned a lot from Kay and the concepts he had. And the 2 years I was there, I placed twice at 118, 5th place. Was I depressed? I'm going, is this all the better I can do with JUCOs? And I'm going, oh my gosh, what do I do? 5th in junior? No one's going to want me. So I end up going to Purdue, and again, for whatever reason, I don't know, Don Corrigan at the time was the coach, and Don Corrigan was from Osage, Iowa. Now, you know what's funny is all my coaches were from Iowa. I think it was a good sign. Anyway, Don was a short guy, like an 18-pounder, and we were trying to figure out, the first year I went there, and I went back down to 118 for whatever reason I did, dumb. But I cut down, and I ended up 4th in the Big Tens that year. And I'm really depressed. I'm at a point where, what am I doing? Where am I going with this wrestling? I know I'm better than this, but I got to figure this out. So I told Corrigan the next year, I said, hey, 26, or I'm no more 18. So I ended up wrestling 26, and all of a sudden things started changing. I started feeling better. You know, things were working out. I beaten guys, and by the end of the season, I had a pretty good winning record. I placed 2nd in the Midlands behind Timmy Szewski, and Timmy was a very tough wrestler, very good wrestler. But you know, he was one of the top guys, and I had I can't remember. I know in the Big Tens, I had him in the semifinals, and Tim. I mean, I didn't get him in the duel, but I wanted to wrestle him in the duel. He didn't show up. He was sick. And so I had Tim in the semifinals of the Big Tens, and it was 1-1 tie going to overtime. Now, we're at it. We're going at each other the whole time. Well, he takes a shot on me, and he's on his knees, and I jack him up. And all of a sudden, I changed direction into a headlock, right to him, a side headlock, put him on his back. And Tim, you know, it was not a fluke, but it was set up well. And I'm sitting there happy, going, I'm glad this is almost over. I didn't pin him, but I ended up putting me in the finals with a guy named Pat Milkovich. Now, Pat Milkovich was the guy to beat. He was the returning NCAA champion, and he was a stud. I'm telling you, he was tough. And so in the duel, I got to kind of backtrack. In the duel, our duel before we got to the Big Tens, I tied him in our duel. So in the Big Tens, I'm fired up. I'm ready to try to beat this guy. And so what had happened was he had taken me down 2-0. Okay, I was a little depressed about that, but I just kept wrestling. Going to the second period, I chose down. He had riding time on me, not much, but a little bit. And I got away. I got 1. Now the score is like 3-1. He's ahead. Okay? And so now we go, and he's got about a minute 30, minute 40 writing time. I'm on top last period. Okay? Now I got to write him. All of a sudden, he felt from really being tough to being really weak. All of a sudden, because I stuck my legs in on him and started cranking him over, and I'm hearing him go, like this, and I'm going, yeah. And I turn him over for 2, cancel out his writing time, end up winning 3-2, and getting OW at the Big Tens that year. Went on that year and we both lost John Fritz from Penn State, who was also a very tough wrestler at our weight. And but I got to be good friends with Pat, and we talk about things like this every once in a while. He didn't like to talk to me about it, but I like to talk to him about it, but it was fun. And it was a learning experience for all of us. And over the years, I've had a lot of interesting matches, and I probably had more success in freestyle than I did folk style. But the people that really made a difference for me, more so were my teammates and my coaches that gave me the ability to stay focused, do the right things, and be up here to be talking to you tonight. I want to thank my teammates. I'd like to thank the organizing committee, and it's been a journey, a great journey, and I really enjoyed it. Thank you.